Hey, welcome back to the Happy Place Diaries. It's great to see you again. Hey, this time we're going to talk about camping etiquette. You know, those things that you should do or shouldn't do, or, just things that drive people crazy at the campground. Anyway, camping etiquette coming up right after this. Hey, welcome back. Hey, if this is your first time here, go ahead and click that subscribe button. If you like what you see at the end of the video and stick around to the end, give us a thumbs up. Click that subscribe button. We really enjoy having you along our journey with us. So this video, we're going to talk about 10 things that might just be pet peeves or whatever, but it's things that we have determined as good camping etiquette. So, and these are in absolutely no particular order. Number one, quiet times. Observe quiet times. Is that focused? All right. Observe quiet times. Most campsites, quiet time is from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. Sometimes it's 8 a.m. But 10 p.m. is a reasonable time to be quiet in the campground. We come camping in our RVs to get away from city noise and all the hustle and bustle of what goes on in town. So, we're out here, like this weekend, we're out at a state park. So it's, very out in the woods. Every campsite is tucked into the woods. So, we come out here to get away from the noise. So help your fellow campers out by observing quiet times. Along with that is lights. Now, there are some campers that love to decorate and go overboard. And I guess that's not fair, because to each his own. But, there's some campers that are lit up like Christmas trees, and that's fine. I enjoy that. But there is a time in the evening that lights can be turned down or turned off so that they're not, like a landing strip shining into our windows. So just be aware of your lights, and that goes for your porch light too. Some people like to leave their porch light on all night long. I like to turn my porch light off right when we come in for the night. Once we're done outside, sitting around the campfire or whatever, as soon as we come in, I turn off the porch light. That way it's not shining through the woods. Light travels at night as well as sound. So we like to turn off our outside lights when we're in for the night. Passing through campsites, that's number 3. This is a huge pet peeve of mine, when people don't understand where kind of the boundaries are of campgrounds, and you're sitting around your campfire, and the next thing you know, somebody's walking right through your campsite to get to the shower house. Now, if there's an established trail that leads to the shower house, or whatever, and you just happen to be butted up against that, that's one thing. But, kids that ride their bikes right through your camp or whatever, and we're going to talk about kids in a second, but, passing through campsites, especially without asking, hey, can we, come through there or whatever, that's a little bit pet peeve of mine. So, passing through, watch out when you're, moving about the campground. Campfires, we talked a little bit about campfires. I love a campfire. Don't necessarily like the smoke of a campfire, but I love to sit around and have fun and chit-chat and maybe have a couple drinks or whatever around the campfire. But don't let your campfire get so big that it creates the scene so that everybody around the campfire is being kind of obnoxious or whatever. There's a time and a place for that, certainly. But generally speaking, keep your campfires to where you're sitting around the campfire and enjoying your friends and enjoying conversation. Which brings me to my next one, and that's camping in groups. We love to travel with a group of friends. And so we all like to sit around the fire together, and we like to joke and have fun. And we like to get our campsites that are near each other so that we're, observing the pass through, but we're passing through to friends and stuff like that. But when you're traveling in groups, be aware that there's other people that are not part of your group. And so just because it's funny and you're having a good time, you might be disturbing other people. So just kind of be aware, especially as you get into the evening, that your group is going to be louder just by the nature of being in a group, and other people might not appreciate that. Setting up and backing in, I have a general rule. If you don't ask for help, I'm not going to give you help. And that is a rule that everybody should observe. When you are backing into your site, or pulling through into your site, or setting up your site, that's on you. And if you need help, certainly ask. And I'm not really addressing the people that are doing the backing. I'm addressing the people that feel like they need to jump out there and help you. I'll give you a great example of that. We were backing into a site once, and a guy came out and he's like, "Oh, no, you got to get over. You got to get over." And so I'm backing, and I don't know because I can't really see behind me. So I'm taking his word for it. So I get over, and he's like, "All right, that's perfect." I get out, and he didn't understand that I had a trailer that needed an arm's length distance from the power box for it to slide out. So he had me butted up as close as I could to the power box, thinking it would be easier for me to hook up. Well, then I had to pull back out and give myself distance and whatnot. So we all have our set routine on how we do things. Some people get out and they use walkie-talkies with their wife or whatever. Some people use their cell phones. Some people have great hand signals. My wife and I have a great system, and we're not soliciting help unless we're soliciting help. So just be aware that people may or may not need help, but don't just jump out there unless you're asked to do so. Let's talk about pets. We travel with pets, and we love our pets, and we love other people's pets. But we all know that, especially dogs, they bark. And there's nothing you could do about that. Dogs bark, and that's okay. But be aware that other people might not enjoy your dog's barking. And so do what you can to settle your pets down. Maybe put them inside or whatever. It sounds kind of snobby, but we do it with ours. If they're getting a little bit too annoying, we put them away. Also, keep them on a leash. We have the long cable leashes. Most parks ask that you keep them on a 6-foot leash. And we keep them out of the road and whatnot. So our cable leashes, we always situate them so that they cannot leave the boundary of our campsite. That way they're not running out at people and scaring them, or, they're not, getting out into the road or into other people's campgrounds. So just be aware of your pets and pick up after your pets. If they make a mess, grab the little bag and pick it up. Music. And I'm a music guy. I love my music. And, every modern trailer is equipped with outside speakers now. We've used ours a couple times, but we don't do it in the evening when sound travels, and we don't do it when, when we're competing with other people's sounds, right? So, because the campsite next to us might be a little loud, doesn't mean I should turn up my music so I can hear it. So we rarely use our outdoor speakers, and they're there to be used. I get that. But just be aware that other people might not enjoy your taste in music. And so be considerate of your fellow campers out there. And that's really all I'm going to say about music. Last two is, number 9 is making morning noise. And this might just be a pet peeve of mine, but because we rarely sleep in, but when we camp, we like to. And just be aware that for some reason, morning noise is the loudest noise. The slamming of doors and the opening of cabinets. And I don't know who designs trailers, but every one of the outdoor compartments, they tend to slam, and they all sound exactly the same. And if you've been in an RV for more than 2 campouts, you understand what that sound is like. So just be aware that everybody else hears it too. So just be aware of your morning noise. Slamming your car doors, slamming your trailer doors, compartment doors, getting outside if you're cooking outside. Cook. That's great. But understand that your conversations become everybody else's conversations. So morning noise, just kind of be aware that morning noise is kind of a loud noise. And then finally, and it kind of goes along with the morning noise, is breaking camp. Sundays, it's always busy. People got to be out by 1 o'clock or 11 o'clock or whatever the checkout time is. And some people have a routine that they just get up, start packing, and go. And that's fine. Just understand that the clanking and banging and all of that stuff, try to keep that to a minimum. And you don't need to yell and all that stuff. It's Saturday morning here at Fort Stevens State Park. And the people right over there left this morning. And they left this morning at about 7 o'clock. And the reason I know it was about 7 o'clock is because they woke up the entire campground. I almost grabbed the camera and ran outside, but that wouldn't be good camping etiquette either. So just be aware that, you're putting in your stabilizer bars and chains and starting up your car and backing things up, and your jack makes noise going up and down, and you're slamming and banging. Just be aware and do what you can to make everybody else's camping experience a wonderful camping experience, because that's why we all come out here. Hey, I'm sure that I only hit 10. If you have more suggestions on good camping etiquette, go ahead and drop a comment in the comment section below, and I'd love to read those comments and maybe share those with our audience. And again, if you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up if you liked the video, and click that little bell to get notifications on when our next video is coming out. We'll be getting back on a regular schedule now that summer is wrapping up, and we had a very busy summer. We'll do a video on what that looked like. But anyway, hit that subscribe button. We really, really appreciate it. We're trying to grow this community. And be a good camper. Be a good neighbor out there. And we'll see you in the next one.